Howdy folks, hi Felicia, thanks for joining us.
Hi.
Today I'm here to test out what may be the smallest and lightest product that I've ever reviewed on the channel, but it's one that I've had so many requests to check out. It is the Megadap ETZ21 Pro lens adapter, and E to Z, as you can probably guess. What they say is it will let you take E-mount mirrorless lenses, mount them onto your Nikon Z-mount cameras, and have full autofocus and control. What's funny?
Only have Chinese. How you know all the things?
That's a good point. So if I miss anything in this review, it's because the manual is only in Chinese and I don't read Chinese, or you'll just need to translate all that for me. Now, whilst it isn't necessarily a product that I'm personally interested in, there's three groups that I can see would be interested in this. The first is pretty obvious. If you're a Sony user, you're thinking of moving to Nikon and you don't want to rebuy lenses, if this works well, great. For those, the second group would be those who potentially want to shoot both brands for some reason, like Sony for video, Nikon for stills or something, and again, only want to use one set of lenses. But the third, which may be the most interesting or the one that I thought of last, is Nikon shooters who only use Nikon bodies, but they want to get access to Sony E-mount lenses. And not only the great G-Master Sony branded lenses, but Sigma and Tamron and Samyang and all these brands have so many lenses out that do have autofocus, but they're only available in E-mount, like Sigma's new 24-70 or 51-2, which are great and half the price of the Nikon offerings, but not available in a Nikon mount. So in this, I'm going to test a bunch of different lenses. I've got over a dozen in on the Nikon Z8 to see how they do, but as a benchmark, let's start out with the 50mm 1.2 Sony on the Sony A7 IV. We'll get the Nikon Z8 with its 51-2 to see how they do natively. Then we'll try putting the Sony lens onto the Nikon body. My video man is already confused about what we're doing. Saw his eyes like, what? Let's go. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Nikon, I can tell you that's just how it looks. You occasionally get the option to switch eyes. Sometimes it seems a little bit laggy, like it's not right on the eye, but when you get the files back, they are. It has locked on focus. So if the Sony lenses adapted are looking like that, and we verify in post that they are in focus, then it'll be happy days. But that's to set a little benchmark for you. If you're shooting images of people, folks, and you're looking to retouch them in an efficient way, check out Rebloom. It is AI powered, which I know sets off alarms for some people, but it works really well, and I'm starting to integrate it into most of my portrait shooting work. Take a look at this shot of Felicia. I'm going to open it up in Rebloom from Lightroom. You can use it as a plugin for Capture One, Lightroom, or Photoshop, or as a standalone program. It's really simple. You've basically got natural or fashion. You can adjust the general intensity or the texture, and it just gives beautiful results. The most important thing, it gives you a really natural looking retouch that keeps the skin tone. It works more on obvious moles and zits and that kind of thing, and skin discoloration like bags under the eyes or just blotchy skin patterns. It might have been hot that day and that's not how they generally look, to even that kind of thing out. If we take a look at this image here of Lena as well, a really beautiful image, and great thing about this software, it all works off your computer. It's not sending images off to the cloud. It's all based on your computer. It doesn't have any content restrictions for the kind of portraits that you're shooting or what skin is showing, and it does apply retouches to the wider body as well. Check it out. You can get a free trial below. They offer monthly, annual subscriptions, or you can buy it outright so you never have to pay again. But on any plan, there's no limit on the number of images that you can edit. Check it out, full details below. So that's how we're looking with Nikon. Let's now try the Sony and its native one too. So as you would expect, Sony are kind of one of the leaders here. The autofocus is looking great, snappy, jitters around a little bit just like the Nikon does, but you can be pretty sure the files are going to be spot on. And I have to say, I love the Nikon 51.2, but seeing how small and light this is, the idea of having this small of a 51.2 on my Nikon, if it were to work well, it would actually kind of appeal to me. Tiny, right?
Yeah, so thin. How?
So actually, Aaron was saying the same thing, that he has one that's for like L to E mount, and it's this thick, and I've got others that are bigger. The whole point of an adapter is it needs to be exactly the difference between the lenses. So let's say a Sony lens from the back of the lens to the sensor is 2 centimeters, and a Nikon is 1 centimeter, then the adapter has to be exactly 1 centimeter to give the Sony enough room. Otherwise, the image that's coming out of the lens to hit the sensor won't be sharp. It has to be the exact right distance. So in this case, it's this tiny, but then they've actually hidden the electronics inside the body of the next camera, which is pretty crazy. So
Is that work?
we gotta find out. I have aperture control. Well, let's get you in and test it. Aperture control's good, and when I adjust the aperture manually, the camera knows it. I don't know, it's like wearing sexy stockings under my suit. There's something wrong to be having a Sony G Master lens on a Nikon body. Actually looks good, what? Okay, no, yes and no. It's definitely staying with her eye. Oh, but see that little shutter? Oh yeah, that shutter is a bit odd. What if I go to single shot focus? So, very quick first impression. Oh my God, it's working. Very quick second impression. It's not perfect. But I have to say, this is also the newest Sony lens pretty much out, and the newest Nikon body out. So you would expect maybe this is going to give the best results of any. It'll be interesting to see how it'll go once we get on to Tamron and Nikon and other third-party ones. Or maybe ones that aren't an f1.2 that have a normal amount of light to play with. But there are definitely, I hope it comes through in the edit, some pulses occasionally in the focus, and you get this weird warp that you don't get with the native lenses. But still, I need to go back and check these files are in focus. Let's just jump in here, ding or ding, whether they are or not. But if they are, it's definitely usable. It's just not native performance. I'm interested how the frames per second does as well, because Sony famously cuts down the number of frames that you can get off in a time period. So let's see, if I go to 20 frames a second on this guy, this could be interesting. So at 20 frames a second, I need to be at a really high shutter speed. So let me just boost my ISO up here. Okay, so I'm at 1/2000th of a second. And as I walk towards her, let's see how we go. Nothing for me to fall on. So we're buffering already, but that's a camera issue. Or definitely some pulsing there. Okay, so not that you're necessarily going to do that at f1.2. Definitely some missed frames. I don't know if we're getting in the full 20, but I'll try to count it out for you in post. Yeah, there's somewhere it just, wow, it's pretty fast to focus though. You think I was shooting so fast in, next shot completely out, next shot almost back, next shot in. So that means if it was doing 20 frames a second in 140, no, I don't know, I can't do my maths, in a fraction, it went all the way to infinity and back. So it's definitely still focusing fast, it's just not as locked on. But interesting, let's go to the next lens. actually quite funny. I was kind of, what's the right word, jaded about it and thought, what's the point? I don't really, I can see if someone's changing systems and a gateway is good. But I see in the comments all the time, Nikon users jealous of Canon announcement, Canon users of Sony, Sony of Nikon, this ever-going circle. So you could then potentially get the 135G master that maybe you're lusting after, that you prefer over the Nikon version, and use it. It's actually potentially pretty exciting for people who aren't brand loyal. Okay, I think that one is, actually I'll do a quick little burst on it as well, maybe not 20 frames a second, 10's probably enough. But I didn't see the pulsing on this one, so that's interesting. Okay, eyes to me. Oh, nope, got a pulse, got a couple of pulses. Okay, so again, I would say not native, but better than I would have reasonably expected for a cross-platform adapter. We got one more native Sony lens here to try. The 16-35. Dang, you got some expensive lenses, boy. Thank you to Aaron for letting me use his Sony lenses in this test. That's good. The manual focus, autofocus switch does work. Okay, definitely some pulses here. Seems to be when it's getting closer to its close focus, or when you change the distance quite a bit. I would bet we're gonna see a fair bit of pulsing if we had someone running towards camera. And I have just the test tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some of the other lenses with Honey, our fitness model. So I'll ask her to bring some running shoes. Unless you want to... Oh, okay. Okay, so Sony 50, 135, 16-35. I would say all usable if you're not shooting super fast moving stuff or where you need the 100% hit rate. I'll check it in studio, but I would say 85 to 90% hit rate. Again, way better than I was expecting. Let's now check out some of the Tamron lenses. Okay, the 70-300. Oh, he's so light. Okay, I do notice it takes a little second, like 1 second for them to kind of register, oh wait, what am I shooting here, before all the details load up. But that's not the end of the world. This guy is so light. I'll be interested to see how it does. Our first third-party lens, and it's also variable aperture, f4.5 to 6.3 instead of a constant aperture fast lens. Okay, 70. 135. Ooh, a lot of pulsing. 200. 300. Oh, the eye is definitely a lot more jittery than I've ever seen it on another lens. Even like the 24, whatever it is, that goes up to f8 on the zoom. I don't remember seeing this kind of jitter. Yeah, 1 or 2 out, but most of them seem on. It's just you don't have that much light and it's overcast today, so at f6.3 I was probably at quite a high ISO as well. Let's continue. What a funny little bugger this is. Again, little 3/4 of a second pause to figure out what's going on, and we're good. Holy shit, I've never used this lens before. It's pretty nice. No, I'm serious. The color reproduction is really nice. Way to go, Samyang. It's good to see these brands moving ahead and getting into autofocus. Yeah, the image quality is nice. And I'm not really seeing much jitterage. This is not a lens for close-up portraits, but what the F? Oh, there's a little jitter. Okay, I like it. Hell, I might even get one of these adapters. Probably not though, but still pretty nice. What's next? Sigma 35 1.4. Let's stay on the 35 tip. I mean, come on, that's pretty.
Oh,
Hardy. Nice, I like. Oh, come on. Who would think that we're in a lift thing here? Look out, just a little, no, just a little, just a little. There's great. Oh, some pulsing there. Ooh, big pulses on this guy. So look, overall, I think the story just keeps repeating. I think the fast aperture lenses are doing better. When they're at the longer end of the zoom range, there's more pulsing there. When they have less light to work with, it seems a little bit less reliable, but they're all doing better than I expected. This is, however, on the Z8 body, which is sharing most of the best components that Nikon have. So let's head in studio and just do a Sony, a Tamron, and a Sigma on the Z7 II and see if there's much of a difference. Okay, so we're back in studio now. I just wanted to test them on the Z7 II. I'm going to do one of each brand. So we've got the Tamron 35 to 150, the Sigma 35 1.4, the Sony 51.2, and the Samyang 35 1.8. So we'll try each of them and see how they do with that older style body. Hi, chin up. Well, it's just because I'm cropping you off really weird here. Okay, there's some little pulsations. So you can kind of see there's quite a lag there. Some obvious pulsing. Oof, right there. Yeah. So I think why this guy is having a big pause is I have it set to focus priority rather than release priority. So let me adjust that and we'll just see how many shots it's getting if it's just shooting as good of a focus as it can. The release button, it looks a bit awkward, and depending on the camera, it might block the button a little bit, but I personally don't find that it's in the way. It's actually doesn't extend beyond that edge around the mount. So it's not bad to get into. It's just an extra button that you have to remember where it is and then which way the lenses are turning on and all of that fun stuff. Yeah, definitely more thinking time required on the Z7 II compared to the Z8. Lucky last, let's check the Sony 51.2. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh.
Totally lost her.
I thought that was me.
It's trying. My finger hasn't left the shutter in all of that time. Hasn't left.
Oh, could it be the, no, I don't know, minimum focus distance? Because 50,
Well,
I know it's like around,
So there,
oh, never mind.
it has focused to there.
Yeah, never mind.
So I'm well within it. I'm well within it here. So look, having shot that variety of lenses on the Z8 and the Z7II, top line takeaways are faster aperture lenses doing better, native Sony lenses are doing better, Tamron lenses are doing noticeably worse, as well as anything that's variable aperture. Overall though, it is doing better than I had expected, but there's still some reservations I have that would hold me back from actually recommending this as something you should buy. But I'll talk you through that in the conclusion. Next, let's go shoot with Honey in downtown Hong Kong. Hi folks, hi Honey.
Hi.
Second day of testing now. This time we're going to use some Sigma and Tamron lenses and the 51-2 with Honey, moving to see how they do with tracking that. Just to let you know though, I was explaining to Honey how this adapter works and who the potential markets are. Realized she is a potential market, being a Sony and Nikon owner, and realized that it's not necessarily for professionals who want to collect all the different lenses out there, or that it's just for beginners, but it's essentially for those who are on a budget, I think. If you can get, let's say, 80 to 90% of the performance, but have the option to get a used or an E-mount lens, like say the Sigma 85 versus the Nikon 85, a third of the price for the 1.4 versus the 1.2, that's a great proposition for most people. Whereas full-time pros may just pay the premium to get 100% performance. But let's see, we'll do these moving shots, see how they're actually doing, and whether we are talking 80 to 90% performance or above or below that. Okay, we're in a very touristy area, so we're gonna have to deal with tourists. Okay, so number one, you can do your cute whatever. Definitely some pulsing. I see the trees in the background coming into focus sometimes. This is all the 51-2. Stop on the pole and give it a cute little pose. Oh, definitely some rumbling here. It's more off-putting, but not necessarily ruining the shot. Okay, let's do one with lots of spins. This is still 51-2. You can just go one pole, more pole back. And then you can jump and hide and whatever you like. Yeah. Spin, spin, spin. Keep walking forward and spinning. Walk, walk, walk. Spin, spin, spin. Yeah. Okay. And once that family goes, we'll do one power walk. You can make it a catwalk. Yeah, walk like you do onto the stage, but fast. Okay, so last one on the 51-2. Yeah. So that was our best performer before, and definitely there's a lot of flutter there. I don't know if it's affecting the photos, but it does make shooting a bit off-putting. Okay, so we're going to the Sigma 24-70 Mark 1. So we'll start out at 70. Yep. Stop there, go to the pole. Yeah, this is cute. Lean out again. And come right up close. No, I can come closer. Oh, lots of shutter there. Okay, let's go back and do a nice fast one. Nice, on that one. Nice, nice. Now, one thing I hadn't thought of was, now I'm dealing with 3 different brands and 2 different mounts, and the way the lenses zoom and left and right, and which one is focus and which one is zoom, is all switching up, and it's getting to be confusing. Yep. Lots of wobbles there. Again. Yep, go back is good. So it seems when I move the zoom and her distance is moving is when they really struggle. Okay, go for it. So for example, come on wide, and then I go right in. No, there was okay. Stop there, just hold and be cute. Okay, yeah, so when you're introducing that combination of movement, that I'm getting closer, the lens is zooming, you're more likely to get that pulse. Oh, and near close focus. Okay, there we are at 70. Oh, lost her. There we go. Yep. Oh, a bit unreliable on this run. That's great. More of that. That playful in and out. Ooh. I just want to show them what the closest focus is. It can focus this close. So it's not that she's too close. So do more of that in and out. We've got a nice bride behind you. And a spin and a hide. Hide. Okay, let's just do one power walk. Lost the face there. Nice work. Great. Okay, last lens is a 28-45. Start with just some cute poses. Oh, it's not getting her. Oh, okay, that's not great. Yep, spin, spin, not getting her. No, there we go. Come a little closer into this edge. Yeah, there's good. And cute poses here. You can sit, whatever. Okay. That was struggling pretty hard before. Jump up. Yeah, and let's do a little walk here. And spin, cute. Interesting, it seems to have found its rhythm now. Yeah, just walk between me and the start of the fountain, like there. You can walk anywhere in here in a big square, being cute, moving around, doing whatever, just play around. Yep, keep going, it's great. Great, 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 great. So no face, there's an eye, there's an eye. Some spins. It doesn't find the eye straight away. Nice, nice. Come to this side. Now let's have me moving. Oh, a bit of shuddering. Let's try 2.8. Okay, so that one in particular, the 28-45 being our last to test, I found it was doing pretty poorly at first, but then it seemed to like find its rhythm and everything settled down, and then it was doing really quite well at the end. Still some fluttering. Look, to be honest, I can see potential in this, but I really have to get in studio. If I find that half the shots are way out of focus and some are a little, I can't recommend it. If most are in and there's just the occasional one that's out, then, you know, this could be really valuable. So let's head in studio.
I like the photos.
You like the photos?
Yes,
Good.
I can see my legs.
The adapter does translate leg muscles successfully. A win. So look, so many of you guys asked me to test out this Megadap adapter, and I'm now filming the conclusion several days after doing the actual testing, and I'm really impressed. Is it perfect? No, but it's so much better than I thought was going to be possible. I would say for anything other than really fast moving sports, it's a viable option. 9 out of 10 shots, you're going to get them perfectly in focus, and it is kind of a much bigger market than I had originally anticipated. It's not just Nikon shooters who might want to dabble in a different lens here or there, or people who are shooting with two different brands. I'm not advocating this necessarily, but for Nikon shooters who want access to Tamron, Sigma, Sony lenses that aren't available in the Nikon system, but they are available as an E-mount offering, this suddenly increases your selection of lenses so broadly. Just keep in mind that because it's not a licensed product with Nikon, they could at any time through firmware lock it out. Then you have to wait for Megadap, if they do that kind of thing, to re-engineer the software to make it work again. And it could get locked out again as well. But as it stands, as I tested it, I was really impressed with the results. Check out the Rebloom editing software below. I'm integrating it into a lot of my work now. You can just drop like 500 images onto it and have it batch edit all of them, analyze, make the adjustments, and then save them out based on the settings that you've selected. It saves literally like 95% of the amount of time it would take me to do the edits manually. And most importantly, it gets an even better result than I would. To be able to keep the freckles that you want, that make it look natural, and keep all of the skin texture but get rid of the blotchiness, it's really difficult stuff to do unless you're an advanced retoucher. So do yourself a favor, check it out, full details below. Let me know any questions you have about the Megadap adapter, and thanks to B&H Photo for sending that one out for us to test. Cheers guys, I'll see you soon.